Throughout this module, we're going to focus on both buttons and forms. In doing so, we will also continue to complete our landing page. Now first, take a look at the Forms section in Skeleton. In Skeleton CSS, scroll to the Forms section, and you can see that all inputs have a custom styling applied to them to normalize height, padding, background color, borders, box shadows, and box sizing. Now this creates for a consistent appearance across browser. There are also adjustments made, but they're all very minimal and deal mainly with applying margins, paddings, and borders. So let's add a form to our landing page example in the bottom container. So let's head on over to our index.html. And first, we'll start out with a form element and then use the skeleton grid system to structure the layout of the form using columns. So for our form, we want a name, email, and button. So to get started, we'll add a form element underneath the H3. Inside of here, we'll have a div class of 1-third. We're going to use a shorthand here because we want 3 different elements. And inside of here, we'll have a label. 4 equals name. This will be, for now, your name. We'll close out the label. Inside of here, we'll put input, type is text, and ID equals name. All right, so for our next column, it's going to be the same thing almost. So div class, again, 1/3. We'll make a column here. Close out our div. Put in a label, 4 equals email. Inside of here, we'll put in an input, ID equals email. Put a label real quick. Okay, so now, just over here, we're going to copy this real quickly so we don't have to keep on typing the same thing essentially. And for now, we're just going to add button. And we'll fill this in the next section when we start covering the actual buttons. Okay, so let's save this. We'll go to our project here at the bottom. And yes, not exactly the best looking form. And also, if we were to scale this down or zoom out, we would see that these would actually float left of the labels, which is something we also don't want. So let's go ahead and fix this here in our main CSS. Come to the bottom. Let's first fix the label colors because we can't really see them. So label, the color is going to be 836 C8C. And this is just kind of a medium desaturated purple. Also, we'll make the font weight here 300. Next, we'll put in input, type equals text. And we're going to style these to background none. So that gets rid of the white background. We'll give it a border of 1 pixel solid. And this is going to be 593 E73. We're also going to add the important rule to ensure that gets applied. Outline is going to be 0. And then color inside, we'll just make the text white. So let's save this and check it out in the browser. All right, much better. As we can see, we could still have some issues with this over here. And that's simply because of your email is a little bit shorter than your name. Otherwise, this would be floating to the right as well. So let's go ahead and fix that. Skeleton actually offers a quick helper class that will extend these 100% width. So going back to our index.html, we'll add class of u-full-width. We'll copy this and apply it to the other input and save it. There we go. Much, much better looking. So now let's just do a quick test and change one of these inputs to a different type of input. So another common input would be a drop-down list so that we can see how it would look and what it takes to customize it. So let's go back to our HTML, and right here I'm going to change this label from your name to issue. And let's just assume they're supporting, for instance, a contact form with some type of issue that they want to contact customer support. So select class equals u-full-width. We'll close out the select and then add our options. So option value equals option, my option, and we'll use Shift, Alt, and down just a couple times. Let's go ahead and save that and now see what the result looks like in the browser. Okay, doesn't actually look bad, but obviously it's not consistent. So how do you actually change the styling of this dropdown? Well, let's go ahead and fix that in CSS. So we'll go back to our main CSS and we'll reference the element itself, select. First, we'll make the background none. We'll take our same rule set here, apply it there, and let's also make the color the same color of the label. So we'll save, and there we go. Much, much better. So now you should have a pretty solid understanding of how to work with and implement form elements as well as customize them. So in the next lesson, we're going to focus on adding a button here and the ways that we can control buttons. We may even add a call to action button up here as well. I'll see you then.